Sounds good.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Vinny Cercia. I'm the Director of Pupil Personnel Services here for the School District of Norton. And I'd like to welcome all of you tonight for our presentation of College 101. We have Vanessa Ruggieri here. She is from Bristol Community College and works in the admissions department. And she will be sort of taking us through our steps here. This presentation is geared for really 9th and 10th graders who are starting to think about the college process in their families. It's a lot of information. So what we've been trying to do over the last few years is sort of provide college application, financial aid, all of that kind of in chunks. So we do this for our 9th and 10th graders, and then we just had part 1 for our juniors, sort of college and career exploration, and then we'll do a second follow-up for the juniors in the spring, and that will be more about the actual application process. We'll also have a financial aid presentation, usually done by somebody from AAA, believe it or not. They do a lot of that kind of work, so they do a presentation. And then senior year, we have a follow-up for the seniors in the fall. We've already done that, and then another follow-up financial aid for seniors also. So that's sort of our process. So this is really the beginning for a lot of folks, Vanessa. So I'm not going to say much more. Do you want to share your screen, or would you like me to share mine? Totally up to you.
I can go ahead and share my screen.
Fantastic. I'm going to sit here and be quiet then.
All right, sounds
good. Much as I can. Thanks.
Thanks, Vinny, for the introduction. Feel free to jump in whenever you need to. So yeah, like Vinny said, my name is Vanessa Ruggieri. I use she, her, and hers pronouns, and I'm the Attleboro admissions coordinator. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And then Vinny, could you remind me, do they have access to the chat or anything to ask questions?
Yes, we can use the Q&A.
Okay.
It's sort of how you want to do it. I can try to keep an eye on that if you want, or you want to save it to the end. Sort of
we can answer them as they come up.
Okay, I'll try to keep an eye on that then.
That's fine. Feel free to interrupt me with any questions.
All righty.
All right, let's go ahead and start. So starting very basics of what college is, what it's all about, and why it matters. So college opens doors for you that high school doesn't, and it can change you and shape you in ways that you can't, that you might not imagine. So college is defined as an institution of higher learning that grants associate's or bachelor's degrees in liberal arts, science, or both. An undergraduate division is school or university. Some of them are colleges, some are universities, and all of them grant degrees in a different field, whether that's something like business, education, nursing, all kinds of different subjects. Some schools also might not be a university, but might be a professional or trade school, might do something like engineering or auto mechanic or things like that. So there's all kinds of different opportunities, all kinds of different colleges that I'll go into more detail throughout the presentation. Some things that colleges do are unlock opportunities for you. They can help you to get a job out of college. They can help you to keep a job. They can help you move up at a job you're already working at, make more money. There's all different options when it comes to college too, through different courses. Different colleges offer different sports, clubs, volunteer opportunities, things like internships, hands-on learning. Colleges also help you become more independent through challenging you and inspiring you to try different things, discovering your passions and identity and kind of where you want to go after college. And they also help you to invest in yourself, to grow intellectually through building different knowledge, skills, and brain power past your high school education. And then this is just a little bit of a chart of earnings for students around the age of 25 and older by their level of education. So as you can see, students with less than a high school diploma, so those that don't graduate from high school, earn about $25,000. When you're right out of high school, that average salary is about $35,000. With some college, maybe you went to college, took a few classes, didn't finish, it's about $40,000. After 2 years, when you would earn an associate's degree, it goes up to about $45,000. That bachelor's degree brings you up to $56,000. And then respectively with a master's degree bringing you up to $70,000, and then a doctorate degree bringing you up to $91,000. So as you can see, that jump even from less than high school to associate's degree is about $20,000. And then it's even more after you get that bachelor's, master's, and so forth. And then, like I said, there's different types of colleges and universities. Something that you really want to look for when you're looking at colleges to start thinking about, I know you're all pretty early in the process, is accreditation. So accreditation is the process of validation where colleges and universities of higher ed are evaluated, and colleges must meet general standards set by review accreditation boards. You definitely want to make sure the colleges that you're looking at are accredited. And then there's different schools, like public schools versus private schools. There's for-profit colleges. There's bachelor's versus associate's degrees. So like community colleges, for example, offer certificates and associate's degrees, where traditional four-year colleges and universities focus more on the baccalaureate, the bachelor's degrees, master's, doctorates, things like that. And then some institutions might even have special focuses, like there's arts colleges, there's single-sex colleges, colleges that are affiliated with different religions, specialized mission colleges, and then some STEM schools as well, all kind of depending on what you're looking to focus on. And then when you're deciding which college is right for you, I always recommend that students really start looking their freshman and sophomore years of high school, just to kind of get an idea, taking tours, kind of getting a feel for a college, even if it's not the college you're going to end up going to, just to kind of get the ball rolling and starting to get interested is important to start early. And then kind of deciding where to apply usually happens between that sophomore and junior year of high school. So finding your fit, things to consider when looking at colleges are things like size and location, campus and housing. If you want to live on campus, you want to make sure you're looking at a college that has on-campus housing. You want to look at different things like test scores. If the school requires test scores, how selective the college is, what their acceptance rates are. If they have your major, that's definitely important. The cost of the college is also a very big factor, different sports and activities, and then just kind of a personal fit. So I always recommend students take a tour before applying to the college, just to make sure it's a good fit for them. If they're able to, just to kind of go see it, go walk around, maybe meet some different professors, staff, students, just to kind of get an overall feel of the vibe of the college. And then this is kind of more looking forward into your junior and senior year of how to select the college after you've applied. So while you're looking at colleges, even just to apply, definitely utilize your guidance counselors and teachers. They're a wonderful resource. Attending college fairs, it's never too early to start doing that. Meeting with admissions counselors such as myself, going on campus tours like I had mentioned. A lot of colleges also have open houses, accepted students events. Those will usually be in your senior year in the spring. A college for a day is another great opportunity where you'll get to shadow a student and go to class with them, go to eat in the dining hall, kind of be like a college student for a day. That was one of my favorite programs that I attended when I was looking at colleges. Some colleges even do overnight visits where you can sleep in a dorm. And then also connecting with current students or alumni of the college to learn more about their experiences and see if it would be a good fit for you. And then just an overall of how to apply and decide. So the college application consists of a few components, and every college application is different. This is kind of geared to the common application, which goes through quite a few different colleges. It's what most colleges use. There's an application form that you'll have to fill out, application fees in the most case, but some colleges, if you go visit them or attend an info session, sometimes they'll get that fee waived for you, which is really cool. And I would definitely look out for those. So it'll save you a little bit of money. Applying to Bristol is free. While we're not on the Common App, you are able to apply right on our website for free. All schools you apply to will look at your high school transcript currently at the time of application, just to start evaluating you. And then they will ask for your final transcript at the end once you graduate in June. Something else they look for is admissions test scores, an essay and personal statement. Sometimes schools might do an interview, and then they also might look for things like a letter of recommendation. One tip that is at the bottom of the screen it's something that I always mention is to pay close attention to deadlines and supplemental forms. So every college is different. So every deadline is different. And some colleges might have different deadlines for priority consideration, for different programs, for things like honors. So just make sure to pay attention to those for the different schools.
One thing I just wanted to say, while
Yeah.
you're in this early process, when you're starting to visit schools, signing up and so forth, one of the things you really want to, I think about is creating a separate email just for college information, right? So it doesn't get mixed up. You don't want to use your high school, like the Norton email, because once you graduate, all that information is gone. We eventually close that out. If you have private emails, whether it's a parent email or a student private email, that you have everything else coming in, you could miss important information. So if you're really going out and seeing a lot of places and visiting a lot of places and you're signing up, you're going to get so much information. You want to be able to kind of weed that out, create folders for the different schools and so forth. Really keep yourself organized, especially when it comes around to the actual application time frame. So I can't stress that enough. It'll make your lives so much easier as parents and as students if you just have that one separate email that is just for your college information. You'll be much better off. So. And start that now as you're starting to apply, starting to look, because you'll be asked to, fill out cards or sign up online or all of that kind of thing.
That's a great tip. Thank you. Another tip that I just thought of when you're going to different things like college fairs and things is they're going to want you to fill out these little inquiry cards. And something that I saw a student do this year is they made little return address labels that had their name, their high school, what they wanted to major in, their address, their phone number, their email, like everything. So there was no more bending over the table and like filling out every single card for every single school you want to go to. Because by the fifth or sixth school, your hands are going to get tired. You're not going to want to fill any more out. I see it at every college fair I go to. So there were a couple of students that just had those little stickers and you could just put them on all of the inquiry forms. So that's another insider tip.
That's a great tip. And I think one of the things for folks now to really think about is obviously you're competing to get into the schools.
Mhm.
But I think right now, Vanessa, you would agree, the schools are just as much competing to get you, right? I mean, this is a very
100%.
competitive market right now. And so, they're trying to figure out pretty early on which of the students that are applying are actually going to be serious about coming to their school. Right now, I think our kids are averaging, I don't know, 8 or 10 applications. In reality, they're probably only really looking at 2 or 3 schools, and the schools are just as much trying to figure out who they're going to make their offers to. So it is really important to go, especially if there are schools you're interested in, and top schools, make sure you go to those open houses, make sure you fill out those cards, make sure you get online and if there's an opportunity to sign up for the college online, you do that. I know some of the colleges even track how long you spend on their websites because they're really trying to figure out who to make that offer to, so they're guaranteeing as many slots or as many seats filled as possible. So really paying attention and doing those little things could help you in the long run, both getting in and maybe even getting better financial offers. So sorry.
Absolutely. No, it's okay. You're good. Yeah, most colleges do track. Like I know we track if you attend an info session, if you attend a tour. And in some college, we don't have an application fee, but a lot of colleges will waive that fee or give you some kind of waiver if you take a tour, go to an info session or something like that. So I always recommend students do that.
A student this year who applied to 8 different colleges, their application fees were anywhere between $60 and $100. She got them all for free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She saved herself, semesters worth of books, really, right there.
Yeah, those add up very quickly. And then something else, this is just kind of like I already mentioned, the standard application, just making sure to check college websites for specific details, but you're going to see most of the colleges that you're looking at are going to be on that common application. So any of the nonprofit organizations provides a standardized virtual application for any member institution. It does include over 500 colleges. I know when I was applying to college, every school I applied to was on the Common App. So more than likely, all the schools that you're looking at probably will be, but there might be 1 or 2, such as Bristol, that's not on the Common application. And it's just one application. Once you fill it out, you can kind of check off the different colleges and it just goes to all of them, which was amazing for me because I didn't know where I wanted to go and I applied to 16 schools. So I probably wouldn't have filled them all out if they weren't on the Common App and if I didn't get those fees paid for again, because that would have been probably about a semester's worth of tuition in fees. And then another tip is to follow the Common App on Facebook and Twitter. I'm pretty sure they also just made an Instagram and they'll post latest insider information, like when the application goes up, different deadlines that are universal to all colleges and things like that. And then going more into the application. So the application, different schools have different options. So Bristol is open enrollment and we're rolling admissions, which means that there's a large window of time to submit an application, but there's also things like early action and early decision. So early action is you receive the admissions decision earlier in the cycle, such as January or February. Usually students don't hear back until maybe April, March or April. So you receive it a little bit earlier. Some even send things out in the fall or December. And then you have until May 1st to accept your offer of acceptance. And then, which is a little different from early decision. So that's where you would apply early, usually by November, to your first choice college. And then if you are accepted into that college, into that program, then you would go to that school. So that's kind of like, if that's your top school, you know you want to go there. If you get in, like that's where you're going, that's when you would choose early decision. But if you just kind of want to apply early, hear back early, kind of get, usually there's more scholarship opportunities for early action. That's an opportunity as well. And not all schools have all three. All schools usually offer something different, but some schools do have all three. So it's just kind of where that school is in your kind of ranking matrix and kind of up to you of which way you want to apply. I always recommend, no matter what, even if it is rolling admissions, just to apply as soon as you can. Usually there is more scholarship money if you apply earlier. So I always just recommend that to students as well, so they can kind of get the ball rolling on that. And then after getting your decisions back, some things that to consider when narrowing down your decision between choosing a college. This can also be used when you're a prospective student, like you are now kind of starting to look at colleges. So the two most common things are the net cost of attendance, which is your out-of-pocket costs. So you could apply to a school that's, say, $40,000 a year, but they give you a $10,000 scholarship. But there's another school that's only $10,000 a year, and they only give you a $5,000 scholarship. Even though one scholarship might be larger, the net cost is lower. So that's something to keep in mind. Just kind of looking at, oh, like this school gave me a bigger scholarship, but it's 10 times more expensive than another school that might have only given me a lower scholarship. So calculating that net cost is super important.
And I don't think sometimes people look, especially at the private schools, and they say, "Oh my God, look at that sticker price. I'm definitely going to go to a state school, or I'm going to go to a lower school." Depending on your grade point average and some of those other things, you might get a bigger scholarship out of that larger, more expensive school. So, don't always make your decision based on the sticker price. You really can find out a little bit about, even sometimes going to their open houses, they'll talk about, kind of how their merit works and so forth. So, don't automatically rule something out because it's got a $70,000 sticker price, because it may actually only in reality be 30 grand out of pocket or something like that. So, don't automatically rule that out, which I've seen. I think especially here, knowing a lot of students say, "Oh, I can't afford it." Well, sometimes it will work out. So at least explore those options.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't let that sticker price scare you, for sure. I know someone that got a full ride to a private school after almost going to a public school that was only going to give her $2,000 in scholarship. She wasn't even going to apply to that private school, and she ended up getting a full ride based on her financial aid eligibility and a scholarship.
Yeah, and then sometimes with the private schools too, not all of them, but some of them, if you've really shown that interest that we were talking about, and they think you're really likely to go, and if you have a a decent offer from a competitor, I hate to say it, you can sometimes leverage that a little bit, get
Yeah.
a little bit more out of them. I'll be honest, we did that with my son. So, he had shown a lot of interest in that school. He had gone to a lot of things there. I think they knew that he was really interested. And so by saying, hey, this is what this school did, can you match it or do better? They were able to
Mhm.
do that. So again, they're looking to fill seats. They can't be under what
Absolutely.
so.
Especially now, I think there's a lot of leniency with financial aid and different opportunities to definitely get that enrollment up. Um, and then kind of going away from the cost is job placement is also a big thing you're going to want to ask on tour or at open houses. Usually the career development office is there. That's definitely someone you want to talk to kind of see what percent of graduates have jobs when they graduate from the college, or what percent of seniors have some type of hands-on internship or student teaching or clinical placement, and the percent of those placements that will usually lead to jobs after graduation. Some other things to consider are things like extracurricular activities, convenience, culture and diversity, internships and co-op programs, the size of the college, the class size is a huge one as well. Social life, study abroad opportunities, and different support services that are offered are all big things to consider when you're looking and kind of trying to decide either what college to go to or even what college to apply to. And then again, navigating admissions decisions, we kind of talked about the acceptance. Sometimes there's a wait list where an application has been reviewed, but it's kind of in a holding pattern. So usually what happens with those is you weren't accepted right away. You're on kind of a wait list. They're kind of waiting to see either sometimes they're waiting to see like your next quarter grades, and then they'll be able to accept you, or there's only so many spots. So if someone were to drop their acceptance or decide to go to another school, a spot might open on the wait list. There's also a denial where you weren't accepted into this college, or a deferral where the application is in review, but more information might be needed. And that could also mean something similar to the wait list where they might say, oh, like you're so close to getting in, we don't want to deny you. We're going to wait for your third quarter grades or something like that. See if your GPA goes up a little bit more where we feel more confident in accepting you into the college. And then more about affordability, one of the most important things to consider when applying to college.
Can I just jump in one
Yeah,
before you do that? Sorry.
sure.
I just a couple of things that have changed this year a little bit too. People I think might be wondering about is test optional. A lot of schools are going sort of test optional away from the SAT or the ACT.
Mhm,
And we'll get into that a little bit more when we move up to the juniors, because by the time this group of 9th and 10th graders gets up to junior year, it might be a little different, but it seems as many schools, even
mhm,
if we ever have post pandemic, but moving forward, what we're hearing is a lot of schools are gonna keep that. The other thing is Norton does have class rank as of now. We still are a class rank institution, but a lot of schools are also telling us that because so many high schools are moving away and not doing rank,
mhm.
it's not having the same impact for them. They're really more looking at GPA and activities and leadership positions and so forth. So some of those traditional things that maybe some of us have always thought about is the application process are starting to morph and change. And, we'll get more information for folks down the road as this group gets closer to the actual application themselves. So sorry.
Absolutely. Great. No, it's okay. Great points. Those are definitely two huge things that traditionally were huge factors and now are not really the case anymore. So going more into how to pay for college. So when you apply to college, you're going to fill something out called the FAFSA, and that's a free form for financial aid. When you fill that out, every college is going to give you what's called a financial aid package. Usually those can consist of things like grants and scholarships. This is free money. So this is stuff you don't have to pay back. And that's what you definitely want to use first before any kinds of loans. Those are things you have to pay back. And then there's other things that you might get, such as if you have a savings account or a college fund, a part-time job that you plan on having while you are in college. We also have a work study where you can work through one of the departments on our campus and you get paid, and that payment can go towards your tuition. And then we also separate the tuition through payment plans. Like, for example, say tuition was like $10,000. You don't have to pay all of that right now. We can break it up into smaller chunks throughout the semester to make it a little more manageable for you. So again, the sticker price, don't stress about it because there always is some kind of financial aid available for you. And then kind of how to apply for financial aid. I'm sure you're going to go more into detail with this junior and senior year, but just making sure that you know each college's priority deadline for financial aid, making sure you meet that to make sure you're able to get the highest amount of aid possible. Super important. It uses your family's tax information to determine your eligibility. Usually it takes about 45 minutes to an hour the first time to complete. What's nice about the first time is it'll never take that long ever again, because then you can just use your old information, update your taxes, and then just send it through very seamlessly. It's just the first time, and then it gets better, I promise. And then you can also use what's called the CSS profile, which is required by some private schools, but usually just about everyone else uses the FAFSA. Oh, something I forgot to mention is that you do have to apply for it every year to continue to be eligible for financial aid. And then after completing the FAFSA, your financial aid office for all the schools that you apply to will send you what's called their financial aid package. This usually comes after your acceptance letter goes out, usually maybe like a couple weeks after, or it might come via email depending on the school. And you can also meet with the financial aid office to help understand your aid. If you kind of wanted to show them a different package you got from another school, kind of bargain with them, that's your opportunity to do that. And then see if they need any paperwork from you and ask about some institutional scholarships and work study opportunities that they might have. And then again, as always, pay attention to those deadlines. They're very important. And then in terms of private scholarships, so these are scholarships that aren't offered by the college you're applying to, but might be places like your high school might offer some kind of scholarships, different places in the community. And they'll all have different requirements, deadlines, and some of them are renewable. Like every year, you might get like $1,000 or something. I got in my senior year of high school, I got a couple different book awards, and they were anywhere from like $200 to $1,000. They weren't renewable, so it was just kind of a one-time thing that just went straight to my tuition. But some of them are renewable, so definitely look for those too.
And we have in Norton, the seniors apply. Basically, it's a group of local Norton scholarships. And what we've done is they have basically one form and they apply for all of it all at once. So it makes those local scholarships a little easier. Most of the committees and institutions in the town will utilize that. It makes it easier for them, and they get a bigger turnout of kids that are applying. So that's one way.
That's
We
awesome.
also we use Naviance. Again, folks will get more information, but that's Naviance, sort of the platform we use to get grades out, transcripts, teacher recommendations, so forth and so on. It's also another way to kind of do some search. Has some search functions as well, but as part of that, there's also a page that we keep active of scholarships in our area, as you know, and even some national ones. So try to make that available to students as well.
Yeah, that's a great resource. And then we talked about applying, we talked about paying. Now imagine like you're at college, how are you going to succeed? So different tips for success are things like being active in your education. So participating, advocating, finding different clubs and organizations to be involved in. Like you can see, that's our film club at the top. At the bottom, they're at a gymnasium watching some kind of sports game. Another one, there might be in a study group in the cafeteria. They made friends with like some people in their classes. They're all studying together. All things that we really encourage folks to do, especially starting at the beginning as early as your first semester, to kind of get that bond, especially if you're in a major where you're going to be with those same people throughout the 4 years. Definitely starting that bond early is really important. And then what about Bristol? So as you all know, I do work at Bristol. We went a little bit over the general information. Now I'm going to talk more about Bristol. So why Bristol? Some things that we really pride ourselves on are accessibility, affordability, transfer opportunities, academic programs, and our enrollment and student support services. So for those of you unfamiliar with Bristol, we have 5 locations. The closest one to you all is our Attleboro location, which is where I'm based out of. We also have Taunton, New Bedford, Fall River, and our online learning courses that are kind of like their own campus. And then full-time and part-time enrollment, you don't have to be full-time. Sometimes people will apply to college and think like, oh, I have to take like high school. I have to take like 5 or 6 classes every semester. I'm going to be there from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day. Not the case. Some folks might do full-time. They might take 4 classes, but you only have classes like Tuesdays and Thursdays or Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a couple hours. So you can say goodbye to the high school, 7 to 3. You'll never have to do that again. You kind of get to have your own schedule, whether it's full-time, like I mentioned. Sometimes students might work full-time and might take maybe 2 or 3 classes part-time. Something that I really love about Bristol is that it's really flexible, kind of, and that you can tailor it to your schedule and any work or family obligations that you might have. Something else that we really pride ourselves on is affordability. We do have that federal and state financial aid available through the FAFSA payment plans, and then tons of opportunities for work study as well, and scholarships. And then just a cost comparison from this year. So the annual cost for Bristol is about $6,000. That's with all tuition and fees, and which is incredibly low. And then for a public university, the annual cost is about $13,000. So any of like a UMass school, and then a local STEM institution, like a technical school, is about $43,000 compared to a private school is about $44,000. So in choosing Bristol compared to a private school, you're saving about $77,000 over 2 years, which is a large chunk of money. And then something else to note is that Bristol transfer students in 2018 were awarded $1.8 million in transfer merit scholarships. So a lot of students will come to Bristol the 2 years, save a ton of money, and then they'll transfer over to a 4-year school after for their remaining 2 years. But we'll save that big chunk of money in doing so. And then speaking of transfer opportunities, we have a lot of joint admissions and articulation agreements. We have something called mass transfer, where all students that come from Bristol to any of the UMass or Mass state schools will be able to transfer pretty seamlessly. So you'll take your 2 years here at Bristol, and then you transfer over to one of those schools as a junior, and then you do those last 2 years there, all of the classes transfer. And we really set you up for success at one of those schools after graduating from Bristol, and you get to earn an associate's degree in the process. We have over 100 agreements, and yeah, you can transfer right over to a bachelor's degree granting institution. And then what does Bristol offer outside the classroom? So we offer different things like developmental coursework. We have learning commons on all 4 of our campuses. Attleboro just got a brand new one. It's absolutely beautiful. We have an Office of Disability Services on all of our campuses, career services, like I had mentioned before, that does things like place internships and kind of helps you figure out your career after Bristol. We have counseling offices and health services, academic advising on all 4 of our campuses, and then we also have a veteran student services and a multicultural student center. And then some other things that I mentioned that students should look out for that we offer are different learning opportunities. So things like our honors program, we have service learning, we have cooperative education through internships, clinical placements. If you're a education major, things like student teaching. We have tons of extracurricular activities. We have clubs, we have student government, we have athletics. We have a really great men's and women's soccer and basketball teams. We have track and field, and then we also have men's golf. And a new one that we just started this year is an esports. So they're like video game sports, and everyone's really excited about those. So I always make sure to mention those as well. And then we also have a fitness and health center as well. And then this is just a really quick video from the president. I'm gonna go ahead and play that. Can everyone hear that? No sound. All right, 1 second.
Nope, it wasn't playing.
Let's try this one more time.
Hi, I'm Laura Douglas, president of Bristol Community College, where we believe that everyone deserves the life-changing opportunities that come with a college education. We're committed to promoting a college-going culture in Bristol County, and we continue to make equity a top priority. We are working hard to make sure that each student receives what they need to be successful with a well-constructed and intentionally designed college experience. The future is here, and it's our time to focus on being equity-minded and creating a diverse, inclusive environment at all Bristol locations and beyond. We have an exciting year ahead. Here at Bristol, a college education is for you, even if you think you lack the financial means or circumstances to attend. We have relevant academic programs and certificates that will allow you to go directly into the workforce or transfer to an excellent four-year university. Bristol also partners with businesses, social service agencies, and other organizations to ensure that our programs meet community needs and future demands. Whether you take classes in Attleboro, Fall River, New Bedford, Taunton, or online, we are focused on you and your success. We are your college. We offer a high school equivalency program, English as a second language classes, and we award credit for work experience. We have classes during the day, evening, weekends, and online to accommodate your busy schedule. The support of our caring Bristol faculty and staff goes well beyond the classroom. We offer tutoring, library and career services, and when our students bump up against a challenge, we have a team to help. Check out our website or follow us on social media to see all that Bristol has to offer. Take the next step and enroll today. At Bristol, we're putting your dreams within reach.
All right. And then a little bit more about Bristol. So we were established in 1965. In an ideal non-COVID world, we have about 6,000 plus students. Right now, we're sitting around maybe 3,500. 61% of our students are under 25, and then we have almost 40% of our students are 25 and older. And right now, we are the fourth largest in enrollment of the 15 community colleges in Massachusetts. And we pride ourselves on advancing a vibrant and diverse community through education, learner by learner. And that learner by learner part is something that we really focus on. So at Bristol, you're not just a number, you're not just a statistic. Every student, we really make an effort to meet with all of them one-on-one and make sure that everyone's supported in the best way possible. And then, like I had mentioned before, we have our 5 different locations. These are pictures. The first one's Attleboro, Fall River, New Bedford. That's our old Taunton campus. It was in the Silver City Galleria previously. Right now, they're in the old Coyle and Cassidy High School. They just moved to a brand new location that opened this past fall. And we offer in-person and virtual support services. With COVID, a lot of our services have moved virtual, but we are back in campus, in person, ready to serve you. And we probably will be keeping some of those virtual support services as well, more of like a hybrid model. And then Attleboro is located in the Attleboro Corporate Center. Kind of a fun fact that I love to tell people is that it's an old TI calculator factory, which I think is really cool. Usually the students roll their eyes. Sometimes parents think it's cool, but I always share that one. And we have a full range of academic and enrollment support services. Like I had mentioned, that brand new library and learning commons, bookstore, adult basic education classes, and high set prep. And we also share the space with Bridgewater State. So some students will say that they love this campus because they can complete their whole degree in one building. So students might come to Bridgewater for the first 2 years, to Bristol for the first 2 years and get their associate's degree, then go right upstairs to Bridgewater for their second 2 years, which is super convenient. And then Taunton is our brand new campus over on 2 Hamilton Street. It includes 8 classrooms and 4 labs. has a full range of those academic and enrollment support services, and is also the new home of the Bayhawks basketball teams. And then Fall River is kind of our main campus. It has over 105 acres that consists of 11 different buildings. Our brand new health sciences building, which is that picture you see right on top. The Bristol Pond is absolutely beautiful, a 700-seat theater, planetarium, art gallery, a bunch of interactive lecture halls, and the fitness center. And this is also home to a lot of our health sciences programs, such as nursing, phlebotomy, dental, occupational therapy, and all of those other buildings, just because of our new health sciences has those state-of-the-art labs. And then New Bedford is located downtown with tons of different restaurants, art galleries, museums, and it's right on the waterfront. Another absolutely beautiful campus, has a full range of academic enrollment support services like all of our other campuses. Also has the library and learning commons, the bookstore, and free student parking at 2 nearby garages about 2 blocks away from the building. And then in terms of access, we do offer 2 different pre-college programs through dual enrollment and TRIO, and then also adult basic education for our adult learners that might not have finished high school. We offer HiSET prep, and then we also offer a lot of support for our English as a second language students as well. And then in terms of academics, we have over 120 degrees and certificates. Some of our top programs are things like business, education, engineering, liberal arts, theater, paralegal, psychology, and then our health sciences, the bio, chem, math, nursing, dental hygiene, phlebotomy, and culinary arts is a big one as well. And then in terms of transfer opportunities, so I'd already kind of mentioned this before, a lot of our students will attend the first 2 years, get that associate's degree, and then transfer over to a 4-year school after that. So over 858 Bristol students transferred to over 100 colleges in 2020 alone, which is huge. And then we have over 70 transfer agreements with 4 years in colleges and universities throughout the United States, not even just in New England. And then we offered over $930,000 in transfer scholarships for our spring 2020 grads. And so in addition to saving all that money in tuition, we also offered all kinds of different scholarships to those graduates from the 4-year schools that they transferred to. And then if you were considering, maybe you went to another school and you're looking to transfer into Bristol, we do also receive transfer credit for previous college experience, credit for prior learning, and we also take AP and CLEP test scores. So if you took those in high school, we take those scores and we'll usually be able to translate those into different credits, like an English class, psychology, AP statistics, there's a history, there's all kinds of AP fun. And then our mass transfer program. So I'd kind of already briefly gone over this already before as well. This is the collaboration between all 15 of our community colleges, our state universities, and all of the different University of Massachusetts campuses. So different pathways that we have are the General Education Foundation, where you come to Bristol, get those general education courses out of the way, you kind of don't really know what you want to major in yet, and then you transfer over to one of those schools to finish your bachelor's degree. We have the A to B degrees, which is the associates to bachelor's. So you would come to us, say you want to maybe do like psychology, you get your associates in psychology, then you transfer over to get the bachelor's. We have the A to B plus the Commonwealth commitment, and our A to B degree students graduating from Bristol would have to have at least a B average, and they're guaranteed admission into the UMass campuses. You transfer in as a junior, you don't have to write any kind of essay or pay any kind of application fees, which is, again, a great way to save money, not only in tuition, but in those other different benefits as well. And then in terms of affordability, again, we had over $22.7 million awarded in federal, state, and local financial aid in 2020 alone. We do also offer work study. We're on the FAFSA. We offer those payment plans, and then different scholarships through the Bristol Foundation. This is just another comparison of the annual tuition and fees comparing us from Bridgewater and UMass Dartmouth. So as you can see, it's a pretty big difference in tuition and a lifetime of savings from student loans. Yeah,
In the mass transfer now, I know you used to be able to just carry over the same tuition. Is that still the case? So your last 2 years?
I'm not sure on
Okay.
that one. I'll have to look into it and get back to you.
All right. Yeah, because I remember that was a big selling point too, is you kind of carried over when you went to Bridgewater or Dartmouth or whatever the state schools that
You
you
can pay the
continued to
Bristol
pay the Bristol
tuition.
rate. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they're still doing that.
Interesting.
A lot of things have changed over the last year or two, but
Yeah.
yeah, that used to be a thing. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that and get back to you. I
okay.
just started working here in June.
Right,
So yeah,
Still
but
got a lot to learn.
yeah, that'd be so cool if they did though. That's a
Yeah,
great selling
yeah.
point for sure. And then there's just a little bit more about getting involved through the student clubs and organizations, student senate. We also have a Bristol mobile food market that happens every month that brings food to our students free of charge. You just sign up online and they'll bring you different food items to campus. You get to just come pick them up and get a free meal from us. We have the Hawk, which is our newspaper, the Commonwealth Honors Program, and experiential education through civic engagement opportunities and internships. And then in terms of athletics, like I had mentioned, we have basketball, cross country, golf, track and field, and soccer. Our new esports, again, has become very popular, and our students are very excited about that one. And they're all 9 teams are NJCAA. And then student support services, again, these are offered throughout most of our campuses, the career services office, our transfer office, which is who you'd want to work with if you kind of knew you wanted to transfer after your 2 years. They will work with you one-on-one to make sure you're taking all of those courses necessary to transfer whatever school you want to transfer to. They'll also help to get you in contact with the transfer admissions officer at those institutions that you're looking to transfer it over to. We also have academic advising on all 4 of our campuses. You'll get an academic advisor your first semester, and then that will kind of be your go-to person throughout your 2 years at Bristol, which is awesome. You get to go see that same person every semester, and they'll help you pick your classes. If you wanted to change your major, they'll be able to talk you through things like that as well. We also have our Office of Disability Services. Again, that's that same your go-to person on campus. Same with the Library Learning Commons. We offer tutoring and academic support. We have research assistants that work in that office, a writing center. And then under student wellness, we have counseling, mental health counseling, and health services. And then we also have the fitness and rec center. And all these opportunities are all free to any Bristol student. The fitness and rec center is located in Fall River, but all of the other offerings are offered throughout all of our 4 campuses, in addition to online as well. And then different ways to get connected. So we have our Multicultural Student Center, the Holocaust and Genocide Center, the Portuguese Language and Cultural Center, the Veterans Services Center, and then the Women's Center that also includes our Parenting Pathways program for new and expecting parents. And then applying for admission. So this is kind of down the line. So I'll just kind of give a brief overview. You can apply right online, because like I had mentioned, we're not on the Common App. But you can, it's very simple just to apply right online. Usually you'll submit your admissions application. We don't require any kind of test scores or anything, but if you want to submit them, you're more than welcome to. Test scores or AP, I would definitely submit, because those will give you college credit. Our semesters start for the fall in September. For the spring, we start in January. And then we also have summer sessions if you're interested in that, not mandatory, but those do start in June. And then all of our majors are open enrollment. So you can kind of sign up for whichever major you're looking to pursue. However, health sciences and culinaries are competitive entry. So usually what happens is you apply into the college, you're accepted, and then there's some prerequisite courses you'll have to take within those programs to then apply in a future semester for something like nursing or dental or any of those other health sciences or culinary. After applying, we ask you to submit your financial aid application, and then usually about a few weeks after that, you'll get an acceptance letter via email with next steps in the enrollment process, such as taking your placement testing, setting up your account, taking a virtual orientation, and then academic advising and selecting courses to get you ready for the upcoming semester. And then to explore Bristol further, this is kind of wrapping it up, getting towards the end. This is our general contact information. I'm going to put my personal email and phone number in the chat. if anyone would like to contact me. We also have campus tours and information sessions going on throughout the semester, various admissions events like on the spot acceptances. We have people here just about every day helping you fill out your application or fill out your financial aid or answer any questions about classes. We're all here to help you, whether that's in person on one of our 4 campuses or online. And then I also encourage you all to check out our upcoming events right on our event calendar on our main page. We just had like an art and design exhibition. We have a bunch of different plays and musicals going on through the theater department. There's always something going on, whether that's on campus or virtually as well. And that kind of is the end of my presentation. I'll now open it up to any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Yeah, you're
I think for
welcome.
folks, this is really like what you'll see at just about any other college. Like this is the kind of presentation when you go. I think you guys do a really nice job of sort of outlining the various aspects of your college, things that are offered, from the financial aid piece to the how to get connected, what kinds of activities. For those of you that are beginning this exploration, those are the things you're going to want to listen for. Those are the things you're going to want to take note of. On our website, we actually have forms, little spreadsheets that sort of allows you to kind of keep notes as you go and visit different colleges. And compare, like, did I like the food? How was the housing? What's the cost? Do they allow transfers? Those kinds of things. Is there a disability center? How do you access it? So there's, depending on what's important for you, if you're an athlete, how do I make those connections? What kind of, is it a club sport or a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3? All of those things you can kind of track, and I think it's important to do that. For our 9th and 10th graders, especially, 9th graders, this is just getting a feel for it. For our 10th graders, a lot of times parents will ask us, well, what should we be doing? I think at this point it's just exploring, right? Getting onto campuses. We're very lucky that we have a lot of campuses. I mean, we just heard about, I don't know, 4 or 5 right just now. So getting onto campuses and getting a feel for it. Doesn't really matter if that's the actual school you want to go to, if you think you could get accepted there or not. Go see an urban campus, go see a community college, go see a rural campus, go see a private school versus a state school. Even if it's just kind of getting a feel for the types of places you want to be. So then when you get to junior year, you can really narrow down, okay, you know what, I went and visited a couple of urban schools. The city's not for me, or, oh my God, I love the city. I can't imagine being stuck out in the country with nothing to do. Have those kinds of discussions as a family and explore. I think that's really the most important thing, the spring of sophomore year, to really, if you can take April vacation and just go visit a few schools on a couple of days. Or if you're in the city, go walk through Northeastern's campus, or, go pop over to Attleboro and see, the community college. I think this is the time to do that. Kind of gets the pressure. There's no pressure right now. If your parents out there and your kids really not talking college, this might be the way to kind of get them to spark some interest. Oh, this looks kind of cool. Look at what they're doing out here. Take them to a basketball game, hockey game. Get that interest going. Get a little excitement, I think, is the best thing to do at this point. We do have a question. How should sophomores take PSAT? Do you offer prep classes? When is the best time to take SATs? So we actually made the decision this year in Norton because of, well, it started as the pandemic, to have our juniors take the PSATs because they didn't have an opportunity prior years. And I think one of the things we're going to do is we're going to continue with our juniors. And the reason for that is that the much of what is covered on the PSAT, the sophomores, especially in the fall of sophomore year, they haven't had the material, especially in math. They just haven't, a lot of them haven't had that material. So what would happen is that, their scores would be a lot lower than they might naturally be because they haven't had the opportunity to take the math components. And even some of the writing, how to break down some of that information is covered in their sophomore year. So it's also one of the biggest things you can do to improve your SAT score is to actually take take practice tests. So taking the PSA at the beginning of your junior year when you're going to stop taking your actual SAT. Most people take it in the late winter, early spring of junior year. You know, if you take the PSATs sophomore year in the fall, you're not taking that SAT again for, you know, almost a year, almost 2 years, year and a half later. So we're going to be doing it, I think, moving forward from now on in the fall of junior year. And as far as SATs, most people take it, like I said, March of junior year. It's typically when a lot of students would take it, or May, and they offer it in June again. They offer it in August, and then I think October, and then just there's one being offered right now. So there's plenty of opportunities, but yeah, I think that answers that question. Oh, in terms of prep classes, we are very lucky, Norton. We have a parent, or now an ex-parent, both his kids have graduated, who is very interested in sort of test prep and has sort of taken on this role for us where he offers workshops. We're actually running some in the for our juniors in sophomores. I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but there's some announcements coming out about that from the guidance department. It's going to be I think in March, and it's 2 Saturdays. You go in, he does some prep work, talks to you about the little tricks and things you can do and how to prepare, and then the students actually take the real practice SAT. And then they get their answers and they work through that. It's like 8 to 12. But the number one thing to do is really practice. However, there's also through Kaplan and a few other places, you can get prepped classes. Naviance has some of that information, or you can speak to your guidance counselors and they can get you some information as well. And these are all free. And then of course, there's really expensive prep classes that are run by private tutors and institutions out there as well. So yeah, I think that answers the questions. Any other questions out there? All right, please take advantage of our guidance counselors. We're happy to help. We also have a college planning guide on our website. It's very intensive. If you want a lot of reading, that literally covers everything you could possibly think of in terms of the college process, from test taking to financial aid to athletics to first generation students. It really covers it all. There's a lot of hyperlinks. So if you're looking for a particular topic, you can go right there, or you can read it cover to cover if you want. It really will cover everything you need to know around this process, which again, I think take it in small chunks. You know, don't wait till senior year or summer between junior and senior year to start this. Do a little at a time, and it will make the whole thing a lot less stressful for students and families. So on that, I see no other questions. So thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, everybody.
You're
and
welcome.
have a great night.
Thank you. You too.